Good morning, hi, this is Gabriel Yap. We are doing the Invest Carnival this coming weekend on behalf of organizers Shareinvestor, a subsidiary of SPH. We're going to have the first ever financial literacy for kids. Now, many of us basically ask, what is the quiz going to be? But before that, let me actually share with you why we are doing this. Now, first and foremost, I think it is difficult to talk about money and money management skills to our kids. But the important thing is that this is a necessary skill that our kids basically need. But unfortunately, it's not really covered formally in our school curriculum. But more importantly, the need to talk about finance to our kids does not just pervade in Singapore. It is also something very prevalent in Melbourne, where I have been living for the last 10 years. And therefore, have evolved this particular finance module for kids in Melbourne, talking to many of the renowned child educators over there. Now, it is something that therefore I hope to actually impart to the audiences in Singapore. Now, what are we going to cover for this particular quiz? Now, I think it's important to actually be talking about money to our kids because the power of real conversations between the parents and the kids are key in helping to ingrain money management skills among our kids from a very young age. You and I know that money actually grows on a compound basis. It is therefore good to actually be starting our kids on that firm ground. Secondly, I think it is by far large that most parents find difficult to talk finance to kids because they themselves are not very good live examples. I think many of us tend to overspend, and spending without analyzing, and spending without knowing what are the good financing sources. Now, this is something that we hope to actually resurrect, and we hope to actually correct in our presentations and in our finance quiz. It's going to be fun, this particular quiz, because we are going to use money concepts that you and I will experience when we bring our kids to the mall, when we bring our kids to the car showroom. What are the financial decisions involved, therefore, that you may actually help to bring the kids, and by doing so, imbued basic financial concepts in them and making them aware of it. Now, the other important thing to bear in mind is also the need to clarify to our kids the differences between wants and needs, because there is actually only scarcity in the real world. And how therefore do you actually come out and explain the concept of opportunity cost to our kids? Now, these are basic financial concepts which our kids need to grasp to actually to grow their compound money in the future, and therefore to build a worry-free, or at least less worry-free, less worrying environment for them to actually grow out. Now, the concept of budgeting is something that we talk about, and that actually points towards savings, and this will again be covered in the financial quiz. Now, more importantly, I like to depart telling you that money can be a tool where we teach our kids our own beliefs and our values of life, to how that actually reflects on how we actually spend our money, how we contribute to society, because kids basically follow 65% of their parents as a role example. Now, moving on to the second segment, how will the quiz be run? Now, it will be done on an elimination basis, in a sense that in the first round, you actually get to play your trump card for 10 questions pertaining on financial basic concepts. Then the next 10 to 15 questions, depending on time permitting, I only have 45 minutes, to actually cover the whole two segments. Now, the second segment is actually on economics, as well as basic savings, investment decisions that kids basically have to make. So it's going to be fun. Bring your kids down. You can register on the day itself. If you don't think you have sufficient people to make up a team, don't worry. The organizers, Shareinvestors, will be able to collate and make sure that everybody gets a team and a great time to participate. So bring your kids down next Saturday, 5:45, and next Sunday, 5:45. The beginners part will run for the first 45 minutes, and the second part will be done on the intermediary level. By and large, the rule of thumb is that it's going to be fun. Beginners will be primary school and below, and intermediate will be secondary school and above. And guess what? It will even be of greater fun, not secondary to anything. So once again, this is your investment guru, Gabriel Yap, signing off. Have a great weekend ahead. Cheers.